Good morning. Welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I hope you're enjoying this heat. I'm not. I'm not a person who likes the heat, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow when we're going to have relief from it. So we're here together. I hope you'll all keep yourself nice and cool today. We've got the air conditioning about to go on and we'll try and stay cool ourselves. We're going to be creating with one of Stampin' Up's new suites called Nature's Walk. And it's a beautiful suite. I've had a little play with this suite and it has things to make lots of texture on your cards. So what I want to do is show you the elements of the suite and we'll get into creating. So let's have a look. Let's get down to the desk and see how we go. There's the ceiling. There's the desk. We're sort of there. I would like to start with the stamp set and the dies. Now the dies are here. They're all in here. These are the new packaging. So I actually stamp inside. I literally just pull this off, ink it up with memento, black memento ink, stamp it on, and there we have our dies, our stamps, so that when I put them in I can go, oh yeah, I've got them all. So that's just a little hint. And on this side you can see, as per normal, I still trace around my dies, so I know where they go back on. So we've got lots of dies. There is a couple of matches up. We've got this one and this one match up, and this one and this one. And then you've got some texture dies, some circles and some lines and crosses, and also a piece of wood. This is, pardon me, these two are just standalone elements of leaves. And when you're working with these, yes, you can see there's lots of die cuts throughout them. You need to be a bit careful, and I'll show you about those. I'm just actually never checked we were going live in the right place, so we better put that on. So this is what we've got in the suite. We also have some beautiful paper. Now, I love this paper, this whole pack. This one's perhaps a little bit out there, but it is actually great to use. And then you've got this side here, which is, you've got your Lost Lagoon and your Secret Sea together on this. This one, of course, was Old Olive and Crumb Cake. This looks like it's garden green, actually. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at what the pack says, so I could be wrong. Gee, wouldn't it be a shock? Mossy Meadow and Garden Green. It is garden green and Mossy Meadow. And you can see they've done lots of swirls on this one. And then you've got a really dark, deep Mossy Meadow one on the back. We have this one. It is lots of writing and it's beautifully coloured so that you get a patchy look. We will use this one today. And on the back again, we have this gorgeous piece here, which is a crumb cake colour. And it's just, again, lots of patches on it, crisscross shape. Now, I've already got some of that over there. We'll put that aside. Again, some more patterns. This is cloud cover, beautiful colours in this set. This is Lost Lagoon, and I think it looks like Pretty Peacock. Let's just check. I'm checking as we go, so I don't lead you astray. Yes, it is Pretty Peacock in there. And then this is Night and Navy and Secret Sea. And look at this, it's got Balmy Blue in it. It's bright, this one. So you can do bright cards with this suite. Oh, we've already looked at that one. So I had that out twice. So they're the papers. It also comes with this beautiful Secret Sea ribbon, which if I put it on the white, we'll put some white up high. It's very see-through and soft and gentle to use. Really like that ribbon. And we have some hexagon, is it hexagon? Pentagon metal shapes, and these are quite heavy. And you've got 2 sizes. So very natural feeling elements. So now that we've had a bit of a look, let's pull some of these things aside and get started with a card. So I'll bring in the trimmer. I'm going to take Secret Sea as my base. So yes, we've got a card size there. So I'm just going to put this up in the corner, push it right up into the corner and to the side, both sides, and fold it. And then I'll grab a bone folder and burnish that so that it's nice and flat and firm. And that way we get a perfect meeting of the edges. So next I'm going to cut 10.5 centimetres of this paper. Put that aside. And I'm going to cut it, about 14, because I'm going to tear the edges. So we'll just cut it there. And, I forgot to show you this paper. Now, I've got a little piece I'm going to use, but this paper, where is it? It comes in 3 colours. Now, it's very textured. What do they call it? Textured specialty paper in natural hues. And it's cream, tan and gold. So here's our colours. Cream, tan and gold. Now you can see maybe on this one there's some little white flecks. Maybe you can, yes, you can see it. There's some little white flecks on that. And it's a bit hard to see, isn't it? And the same on all of them. Now I'm using this, and it's got quite a feel to it, a really very textured piece. So I'm using this as well. I'm going to cut, it's going to be about 3.5, nearly 4 centimetres. We could do it this way, 4 centimetres. Now I need 2, but I have prepared one, so that we're not sitting here all day. It's actually to do with the cutting. So the first thing I want to do is tear this. And it's going to go on the top here. So it's going to be a nice subtle start. I'm going to bring this die in, this little textured one. And I'll bring the cut and emboss machine in. We don't need that torn. You could save that if you really wanted to put it, say, under an edge like this. I'm not going to. That little piece today is going. But let's put some texture onto this. Now, I'm going to just pop it this way, if I can get it all the way in, because I want to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start at this end. Well, I can do it at this end and turn it around. We'll start here. And I'm just going to put it in. I can't get it there. I have to have it like this, because I need to wind it. And my screen's in the road. So this has now given us some lovely texture in there. Now that looks really nice like that, but every time I put it through, it flattens it out a bit. So I'm going to now go and turn it round so that it is going this way. Hi Jane. I've got messages coming up not on my other screen. I don't know why. But I can see your message on the phone. I just can't read it. So now we're going to go this far. I don't want to go all the way through because I don't want to flatten this bit. And then I'm going to turn it here and just do this one. So I need to, it's such a little die, I wish they'd made it a bit bigger, but at the same time it is a very cute one that you could put just little bits. For this I needed a longer piece. So let's pop this out of the road for the moment. We will be using it again. And we'll pop this back on its spot so that we don't lose it. So now I have that, and this is one I did just before I came online. No, not that one. That's the inside of the card. It's more this one. And I don't know if you can see the difference. This one's flattened out. I realised I was flattening it out as I cut it, and it flattened it out where that's nice and stands out better. So we'll make this the bottom and make this the top. So next thing I'm going to do is tear the top of this. And if I tear it towards me, I get a row of white, which is what I want. And again, I want to do the bottom. So I need to get an idea of how much I need to tear off. So I reckon I need to tear it here. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's going to work. So again, we've torn it so that the white is showing. Now, I don't want white on the card, so I'm going to bring in my brushes. Now, if you haven't got one of these, this is great to hold your brushes in. I'm going to start with my darker colour. In fact, I'll probably stay with the darker colour. I'm going to use Pecan Pie. And I don't mind it being dark and heavy because I want this to look like an old piece of paper. And it doesn't have to be, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just adding colour because it wouldn't be perfect if you found an old piece of paper. It would be just like that all over the place. So we're going to clean the mess up. Now, I love my board for this because I don't end up wasting paper. And we're going to now glue these together. So I want to check exactly how much is showing because I want some of the blue cardstock there as well. So yeah, I can show a bit. So that's all right. Well, let's get the glue happening. I'm just going to go along here and place this on. Now this has got this grid on the back, this lovely grid pattern, so I can use that as a guide to get it straight. And that's going to give me that look. You're a fraction too long there. Are you? That's better. I might actually, I think I'll try and pull it up a bit more. No, I can't. I've left it too long. This one might have to be a bit shorter. We're going to put it on this side this time. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. I want it about there, roughly. Yeah, that'll look all right. So the aim is for this to look like some old bits of paper that are falling apart and had a bit of a rough time. Nothing's perfect, it's all just how you found it. That's what I'm looking for, that very natural. That's how we found it. Look. So we'll put this aside for a minute. And glue this on the front. And I should have done the inside piece as well. Now I'm not putting glue right over these cut pieces because I don't want the glue to come out through those cuts. So that can go like so. And actually, before we go too far, now I need to cut a piece of this one. Actually, this one will do. Let's just quickly do this for inside the card, and we can do that as well. So we'll make a piece that's about 4 centimetres there. I've already prepared this piece for inside the card, but I want to also use some cream cardstock. I shouldn't call it cream, very vanilla cardstock. Now, is this long enough? Yes, that'll be long enough. So we'll just cut this at 10. We may have to adjust that, but we'll work it out as we go. And I'm going to tear the bottom of this. I'm going to bring back my brush so that I can match the front. And as I said, I'm not too fussed. I just really want to get rid of that colour and try and make it look like an old piece of paper. Get rid of all that. Pop my brush back. So that's going to glue on there. It is a little bit wider because we were 10.5 here and we only want 10 for inside the card, so we can trim that down. We'll just pop this on here like so. And this is going to have then the inside of our card done. Again, we won't pop it on the end, we'll just pop, come on glue. We'll just pop some there. I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to check the length of that. So while that's all drying and getting ready to work on it some more, I'm going to bring the cut and emboss machine in. Now I wanted a piece of this paper. Now which piece is it? It's not that side. Or it might be that side. I can't see it on this side. It's definitely not those. Oh, maybe I've used it all. Oh, did I use it all? We have that and that. Oh, Ellie, what have you done? Have I got some left in here? These are my bits that are left over. I've got some light. I want this dark piece. And that must be all I've got. Have I got another packet? Talk amongst yourselves while I quickly see if I've got a second packet. I thought I did. Maybe I have, no, maybe it's in the order that's coming. Okay, we're going to try and use this little bit. I wanted a lot of the dark part, but we can make it dark if we have to. I'm going to take this and we're going to cut that up as high as we can to get as dark as we can. So that'll fit there. So let's cut that off. might just, don't need that. Did I? Yes. I need to cut one of these as well, so we'll cut one of these off. We can use this end. So we need 2 of those, and we need, we'll take these dies back, this little die as well. And I'm going to use, I need that piece, I'll just cut a little piece off the edge here because I'm going to cut 2 of these. And she just threw the die on the floor. How that happened, I don't know. It's one of those days, isn't it? So I'm just going to cut a small piece here. So we'll bring the cut and emboss machine in and cut these out. Remember to make your sandwich. We use plates 1 and 2 and 2 plate 3s. So we'll just go through with that. We have a Night of Navy, no, Secret Sea leaf. And we have this textured cream, or very vanilla, to me it is, paper. And then we're going to put this through again, and this one through. And we want it as dark as possible for this card. And we'll just pop this through. So we'll get these out, and we'll put this out of the road and see what we've got. It's not quite as dark as I was hoping, but I have a way to fix that. So we've got our 2 sets of leaves. Now, when I did my practice one, I had a lot more of this darky Secret Sea colour throughout it. So what I'm going to do is bring in the Secret Sea. That's early espresso. Let's get the Secret Sea. And I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness to the ends of the leaves. Some of them, I'm not fussed if some have a bit more green than others. I just wanted it a little bit darker. And it's patchy, just like I wanted it to look. So I haven't fussed with it. I've just added some colour there. I'm going to pop that one back, and I'm going to bring in we are using the brushes. I am going to bring in now Crumb Cake. And just do the same. I'm only really fussing about getting a little bit of colour on the ends of these leaves. And I'm not too fussed. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more 3D. And so it's hard to see, but if I put them up on this light piece, you can see the difference. There's a little bit of colour on that one, so I'm going to add the colour now to the other one. And I'm just tapping. You find you've got to hold them a bit so you end up with colour all over you. But it just gives you that more natural feel to everything. So let's get these out of the road, get the table cleaned up yet again. I need to get my other chamois out, but didn't happen today. Didn't get the chamois wet. Have to go do that yet. Right. So now we can bring back our card. We'll bring in the trimmer while all those dry. I'm going to trim this down to the 10. And I want this now to be around the 14.2, 14.3. So I'm just going to trim the top. And that will form the inside of our card. Oh, I forgot to cut one thing out. We'll have to bring the cut and emboss machine back. Now that hasn't trimmed properly. So let's get this glued in. Oh, and I wasn't going to put glue down there, Ellie. Oh well. So that is the inside of our card. Now that's a little bit of glue's come through there, but it should be all right. So that's the inside of our card matching the outside. Now the next thing I'm going to do is glue this piece on. And I don't know if you remember, I said, look, you can see there's slits all the way through here. I again put it on something light, you might be able to see through it. And those slits, the glue comes through. So just sparingly, I do drops and spread it. Like, that's way too much on that leaf. This is quite a strong glue, so it will hold it. And then we'll just turn it up here. And I'm actually going to get my cloth and dab anything that's coming through. So, I mean, I could leave it like that and just do my greeting on it. And there's a card done. But I'm not going to, because I've got these pieces. This one, I'm bringing in, and I don't use them a lot, but when you do need them, they are great. I don't want my dimensionals to be seen underneath. So I'm bringing in the black ones because I'm trying to make this a shadow line, this Night of Navy. No, it's not. It's Secret Sea. I'll get it right. Good morning, Liz. I'm glad you can join me. My comments aren't coming up on my screen, so I just can see names on my phone occasionally when I lift my head up and look into the phone. I hope you're all surviving the heat. I don't like the heat. Now, while I'm doing this, and it's all very boring, just to let you know, classes are resuming, and I will have an online class coming up in February, as well as classes here. So if you're interested in coming along to class, you're most welcome. Just let me know. Or if you want to take part in the, we won't need that little one, in the classes online. Also, if you join my Teacup Stampers group, and you need to request to join, I am going to be putting a lot of the stamp sets and bundles that have just retired on for sale. Now, I'll be selling stamp sets for $10 and bundles for $25, which is my little cheap price, especially for my teacup stampers. So again, if you want to join the teacup stampers to get those bonuses, let me know. Now I'm just going to pop this in. I just want a little shadow edge around it, not too big, so that it just gives it a look. And I get stuck because I don't want it to fall on. I just want a little look underneath to say, yep, this is the shadow of this leaf. So that gives the shadow look. Now we will be doing things to sit that down. And these two, I'm going to be putting my label down under here. So I'm actually going to just pop these two on with a bit of tear and tape. Stick there. So that they're quite loose and will flap around a little bit, but they won't flap too much, and it just gives that real natural look. Now, two more things I want to do, and have I got enough room on this to do it? Probably. Let's start with this one. We need our stamp mat. This is our only bit of stamping today. I'm going to stamp in Secret C. And I did re-ink this yesterday, so I hope it's still okay. Yeah, it looks good. I'll do it right down the bottom here. You're on my mind. And I was going to explain, and I didn't. You're on my mind is not what is in this lot of greetings. It's I like you lots to a great guy, which I was thinking I would do, but I've ended up going with you're on my mind. You make me smile is a great one. I've used that a few times, and thank you. But I have brought in this group of stamps. Now, for those that haven't seen this, I'll take it out of the plastic so you can see it better. If you look at the top of my page, this is the set that when you spend, I think, is it 90 or 125? I can't remember now which. A bit hopeless with that. Spend too much, you see. You get this set of stamps, and it's a great set of stamps. It's for $9. $9, and you've got happy birthday, you're on my mind, which we've just used, thank you, hello, sending love, you can do anything. And you can do thank you so much, happy birthday, hooray, to a fabulous friend, happy birthday, or thank you. Just because there are simply no words for this, which is a great one. There are simply no words for this. We all have had those situations. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I clean the darker colours and anything that has a red pigment off my clear stamps straight away, because they will stain them. Now, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to fussy cut it. So let's just do this and see if I can fit the die that I was going to use and I haven't done. This piece of wood, and it's not going to fit. Tried to work it, but it's not going to fit. So let's grab a piece of this. This textured paper is beautiful, and I wanted to have some texture in my piece of wood as well as all these lines and cuts. So I'm just going to quickly run this through. We'll just bring this in very, very quickly. Right, let's get that out. Push this back over here. I don't need that. Get rid of the rubbish as we go. And if I gently pull this out, you've got this beautiful piece of wood. Now, it doesn't look much like a piece of wood at the moment because it's flat and doesn't have a lot of colour. So we're going to bring in crumb cake. I want to get this darker than this one. So we're going to bring in crumb cake. And really, we're just going around the edges. I want to get it quite dark. And you've got to hold it quite firm so that the insides don't move. Now they'll be covered up with the words, so now I've got some crumb cake on it, and you can see the difference between the two. I'm going to bring in some espresso here, no, pecan pie, and add a bit more colour to it. Now I don't want to saturate it, I'm just wiggling a bit of colour around it like that. And I really was just, whatever the brush did and hit was what I was using. And we'll grab our sponge and clean up the mess again. So while that dries, I'm going to fussy cut this greeting. Now, I saw a great hint from someone the other day. If you're not good at fussy cutting these and you want to do it, they took the greeting, put it on top and drew around it with a pencil and cut out the shape. So that's a hint to help you. And that's how I first started cutting out greetings, was to draw around the actual stamp, because the stamp is made just a little bit bigger than the greeting. And that'll give you a nice line to follow if you're not so sure on how to do this. And I will show you on a little piece of paper. So I've just fussy cut that out. But let's just grab a scrap of, is that going to be big enough? Let's get a piece that's big enough that we can see what we're doing. I'm not even going to bring the block in. I'm going to put this down on my paper and grab my pencil. Oh, is that one working today? No, that's got no ink lead in it. I haven't got a pencil. I'll use a pen. A pencil would be better, but I'll use a pen. And I'm just going to go round the stamp. Bigger piece of paper would have made it easier too. But so I've gone round my stamp. We'll just use this one. If we do it up the right way, and then you just stamp in the middle, and then you've got a mark on where to cut out. Better if I'd done it in pencil, but that at least gives you an idea of what I'm trying to say, so that way you can now cut that out on that line you've made, and then rub out anything that still shows. I'm not going to cut it out because I didn't do it in pencil. So, we now have our piece of wood with our greeting on it. And I want to bring in, we're on the home stretch, folks. I want to bring in some ribbon. Now, this is this gorgeous ribbon. I'm going to... Some people just use the dimensionals that I'm going to put on the back here. I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape to get the ribbon to sit in place while I work on the card. So, the ribbon is going on. Now, I'm just literally going from the bottom of the card across where I want the ribbon, turning it so it's slightly half off itself and half on, and I've run out of tape under there, so I'm going to put another little bit of tape. Here on top, and all this tape will be hidden, and then I'm going to bring this back up here. And all I'm doing is my ribbon scissors to cut this so that it cuts nice and neat. I'm just going to cut that off like so. And then with our normal dimensionals, because you won't see them, I'm going to put a lot. And I am a dimensional girl. I like my dimensionals. But the reason I'm doing a lot on the back here is I do not want this to sag. I'm going to be putting the greeting on top of it. And with all those cuts in the die, it can sag in between the dimensionals, I found, if I do not have enough. Come on. And again, be careful, because if you pull it, the dimensional backs off. You can go up the top. And then, I know we have a lot of dimensionals on underneath, but I'm going to put some on here too. Right, we have our ribbon. We have lots of texture in different feels of the different types of paper, the cuts and the tears. We've got our leaves sticking up and giving a shadow line, and we've got the wood And again, some more of that real texture paper. And I'm just going to bring in some bling just to add to the feel. So I'm just going to do my normal 3 in a bit of a triangle-y style. And I like to keep them in as part of the cluster of the arrangement, like a flower arrangement. And that's my card. A simple, well, it actually is really simple to do. It just has a number of little elements in it that make it really feel something special and has all that texture. So this could be for a guy, it could be for a girl, could be for anyone, someone you haven't seen for a while. You're on my mind is that it leaves it open. It could be for someone who's not well, someone who's going through grief. It's a great versatile greeting, that one. You're on my mind. Could be just someone you haven't spoken to for a while. So I hope you enjoyed that and feel inspired. Yeah, thank you. Now, oh no, Liz, you haven't been well. That's not good. Sorry, I was reading the comment from Liz. She hasn't been well. You need to look after yourself, Liz. Feel free to reach out at any time. I'm glad you like the colours. It's a little bit different to what they've done in the... That's a bit better. In the catalogue and what I've seen other people do with the colours. I've done it slightly different because I just wanted to bring in some of the different colours and elements that are in the group and to show that you can do the browns and the Secret Sea and a little bit of, well, it looks like a pretty peacock colour in there as well. So I'm hoping that inspires you to try things that are a bit different and give it a go. Ripping card isn't that hard. When I first started, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's easy to tear your card. Believe me, it is. And if you rip towards you and it's got a white centre, you'll see it. And if it hasn't got a white centre, like this cream didn't have a white centre, but it just gives you that softer edge. All right, I'm going to let you go. Try and stay cool again. I think this is the last day of heat for Victoria. I'm not sure about anywhere else. I'm hoping that tomorrow brings relief to all. I will see you next week. We will find something new and something exciting to play with. Take care. Bye-bye.